All right. Hi, guys. So I said I would give you formal notes on the parts of box plots, but I wanted to go ahead and make a video again because I think it's important for you guys to understand how knowing these pieces of information can actually help you kind of analyze and draw inferences from data. Okay, so I have two box plots here, and they're both talking about height, but one is talking about the height of boys and one is talking about the height of girls. So something that can be super helpful knowing is, for instance, this middle line here. This middle line is your median, okay? And the middle line on the boys box plot is also the median. So that means that your median, or your middle number, or your middle piece of data for the height of boys is 69 inches, okay? And the median, or the middle piece of data or information for girls, is it's about 65.5 inches. So right there, you can already kind of start drawing conclusions. Well, if the middle piece of information or the middle height of girls is 65.5 and the middle height of boys is 69, you can already start drawing conclusions like, oh, boys are probably taller. And then you can start drawing more and more inferences or conclusions based off of that piece of information. Okay. Another thing that's super important that you can look at is the least value here on boys is, what is that, 66? Okay, well, that right there tells you that the least value for the height of boys is 66 inches. That's already higher than the median height for girls, which is obviously going to change and skew our data in comparison. So boys are way taller than most girls, okay? Because if you look at the girls box plot, the least value here is 61 inches, which is, that's 5 inches shorter than most boys. So, I mean, that's a huge jump in values there, okay? And then you can also take a look at the greatest value, okay? The greatest value, or the greatest height for boys, is 74 inches. All right, that's pretty tall, especially when you go and you look at the girls' data, and their greatest or tallest height is 69 inches. That means the tallest boy in this sample is 5 inches taller than the tallest girl. Oh, that's pretty tall, okay? Okay, the other pieces of information we can look at, which we just talked about in the box plot notes, is the lower quartile. Use a different color. The lower quartile, okay, which I told you guys in the last video, tells you the median of your lowest 25%. And then we also have the upper quartile. Okay, and I told you these could be referred to as Q3, Q1, and then the median could be Q2. Okay, but I'm going to talk about them as lower, median, and upper quartiles, so that way you don't get too confused with vocabulary. Okay, so these are numbers that are telling you your averages. Okay, now the real big thing that we really like to use lower and upper quartile for is something that we call, and you can see it here, is the IQR. Okay, so the IQR for girls and the IQR for boys. This is our interquartile range. Our interquartile range. In a lot of cases, we just call it IQR. And this is taking your This is taking your upper quartile and subtracting your lower quartile. Okay, so for boys, our upper quartile was 72. Lower quartile was 68. Just simply did 72 minus 68, and our IQR, or interquartile range, is 4. Okay, so that's some things that box plots can go ahead and tell you. Again, I'll make sure I post these notes so that way you guys have formal identification of all the different parts of box plots. Okay.